Welcome to Curious Atlas, where we explore history's most compelling and untold stories. Today, we delve into one of Europe's most tragic love stories. Infante Peter of Portugal and Inês de Castro, powerful romance that transcended death. Their forbidden love, set against the backdrop of medieval political intrigue, defied royal authority and led to betrayal, murder, and one of history's most shocking acts of justice. Known as the Queen Crowned in Death, Inês's story echoes through the centuries, forever etched into Portuguese history and culture. Join us as we uncover this passionate tale that continues to capture hearts today. Peter was born on April 8, 1320, in Coimbra, Portugal, as the third but eldest surviving son of King Afonso IV of Portugal and Beatrice of Castile. He was a member of the House of Burgundy, a royal house crucial in shaping medieval Portuguese history. As a prince, Peter received an education suitable for a future king, learning about governance, military strategy, and courtly conduct. He grew up in a royal court filled with political intrigue, alliances, and tensions, which shaped his outlook on leadership and loyalty. To strengthen political alliances, Peter was married in 1336 to Constanza Manuel of Castile, a noblewoman of high standing. This marriage was arranged by his father to secure ties with Castile. However, the union was troubled and did not bring Peter much happiness. At court, Peter met the beautiful Inês de Castro, one of Constanza's ladies-in-waiting. Inês was of noble Galician birth, and her striking beauty immediately captivated the young prince. What started as a passing glance soon blossomed into an intense and all-consuming love. The love between Peter and Inês grew stronger with each passing day. But there was one enormous problem. Their love was forbidden. Inês was not of royal blood, and Peter was already married to Constanza. Their romance wasn't just a personal scandal, it was a political catastrophe. Inês was a foreigner, tied to the powerful Castilian nobility, and their affair threatened Portugal's delicate alliances. The court saw her as a dangerous influence over Peter, someone who could pull him into deadly conflicts that Portugal couldn't afford. Despite the danger, Peter and Inês continued their love affair in secret, hiding from the eyes of the court. They met in the gardens of the royal estates, where the weight of their passion and the threat of discovery loomed over them. As the years passed, the tension mounted. Peter was obsessed with Inês, and their love produced 4 children, making it impossible for the affair to remain a secret. In 1345, tragedy struck. Constanza died shortly after giving birth to a son, the future King Ferdinand. While the court mourned, Peter's heart was set on a new future, one with Inês, now free to be together openly. Peter and Inês's love deepened, and they began living together. In 1349, Peter longed to marry Inês and legitimize their relationship, but his father forbade the union, seeing it as an act of treason. In defiance, Peter withdrew to the north of Portugal with Inês, where they lived together despite the court's disapproval. The royal court grew increasingly concerned, viewing Inês as a potential threat to the crown's stability. In 1355, while Peter was away on a hunt, King Afonso IV made a heartbreaking decision. He ordered the execution of Inês de Castro, which took place at the monastery of Santa Clara a Vela in Coimbra. Inês was taken from her children, and her life was tragically cut short. Inês met a tragic end at the hands of 3 royal agents, losing her life while her children and servants watched in despair. This act, intended to protect the kingdom's stability, would leave a deep scar on Portugal's history. The news of her death shocked the entire nation. Upon his return, Peter was devastated by the loss of his beloved Inês, and his grief knew no bounds. Heartbroken, he vowed to seek justice for the love they had shared, a love that had once been so tender. Peter's sorrow transformed into a deep, unrelenting resolve that would impact the Portuguese throne for years. But their story did not end there. After the death of King Afonso IV, Peter became king in 1357, and one of his first acts was to seek justice for Inês. He pursued those responsible for her death, capturing 2 of the 3 men involved. In an infamous act of retribution, Peter ensured they were punished, marking a dramatic chapter in the kingdom's history. One was punished from the front and the other from the back, a symbolic act reflecting their betrayal. Yet, even this retribution could not diminish Peter's deep devotion to Inês. In an extraordinary move that would etch their love into history, Peter declared that Inês de Castro had been his lawful wife all along, deserving of the title of Queen of Portugal, even in death. In 1360, legend tells that he had her remains dressed in royal robes, placed upon a throne, and invited the court to honor her memory by pledging their loyalty and kissing the hand of the queen crowned after death. In the end, Peter ensured that he and Inês would be reunited in death. At the monastery of Alcobatza, he commissioned 2 matching tombs and placed them foot to foot, so that when the day of resurrection came, the first thing they would see would be each other. Their tombs remain one of Portugal's most enduring monuments to love. 2 souls bound together for eternity, even in the face of death and betrayal. Though centuries have passed since Peter and Inês walked this earth, their story lives on, etched in stone, whispered in the winds, and carried in the hearts of those who visit their tombs. A love that defied kings and crossed the boundary of life and death. Their love was powerful enough to defy death, yet tragic enough to become one of the most poignant stories in European history. If you were moved by the story of Peter and Inês, make sure to subscribe to Atlas History for more powerful stories from the past. And remember, the past is not just a collection of dates and events, but a tapestry of human lives filled with love, loss, and unforgettable moments. Let us know in the comments. What do you think drove Peter's obsession with Inês? Was it love or something darker? Tell us which legendary romance you want to hear about next.